Your theories are the worst kind of popular tripe, your methods are sloppy, and your conclusions are highly questionable.
Alright, everybody, good evening. I've moved things over, switched up, and here I am playing some Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, continuing my kind of like newbie slash beginner's guide as I work through the dungeon with Buns the Bludgeoner, the human of Trog. If you recall, last time I left off, and what I was about to do was get into the business of kind of chipping through the spider's nest. So I'm going to go down, and I'm surrounded by spiders. Okay, alright. So, what has happened? Okay. Let me zoom in here so you can really get a sense of how bad of a situation I'm in. Alright, so I'm surrounded by a jumping spider, a tarantula, another tarantula, wolf spider, wolf spider, wolf spider. Okay. Now, individually, these aren't that bad, but collectively, they get lots of attacks, they're very fast, they can poison you, I believe, and they're quite annoying. Now, just right-click on them to see what they can do, alright? And this guy's like, the tarantula is going to cause confusion, which is terrifyingly bad. Confusion is something I haven't had to deal with too much, but it generally messes up the commands that you want to do. So if you want to move one way, it'll move you another way. And it's very tricky and awful if you're in a situation where you need to do something specifically. Okay? So there's that. The wolf spider poisons you, and the jumping spider blinks around and can ensnare you with webbing, which is also just a complete pain. So what we need to do then is, you guessed it, stair dance, go up. I'm going to heal myself with my ability, and then I'm going to go to berserk just so I can keep up with all these spiders. And then I'm going to just kill them all. I'm too confused. Okay. I don't know what that was all about. But they're dead. Maybe it meant I was too confused to keep attacking when I was that injured, perhaps? Oh, and yet again, another day, another time where I forgot to change my parameters in the Dungeon Crawl config file so that I stop attacking faster when I'm doing my auto attack, but it's not really that bad. What I can do is just not auto attack and prevent that from even mattering. Okay, so here's what I want to point out with this location here, which is that this dude, this orb spider, this is the actual nightmare of the spider's nest, because he can shoot this spell, Orb of Destruction, and let's just look at what that does, okay? It conjures up this orb, and you can see it moving, right? It's slowly moving across the screen, and if it hits you, it can blast you for so much damage that it can one-shot you if you're low enough. You can block it with your shield, which is nice, but these guys are terrible. If you have range, it's not so bad. You can just shoot them, but I don't really have too much range. Let me see if I can blast him with Disintegration. So actually, my Wand of Disintegration is hitting him pretty comfortably, and I killed him. That's great. So I didn't have to worry about him using his orb there, but my wands are getting rather low in charges. As I develop my understanding for how to be streaming this game is extremely tiny. So I've tried to stretch the screen out so it's easier to see, and then I've created this zoom here for the text if you need to see the text better, or if I want to emphasize it, and then I've created this zoom around my character to explain positioning in the situation I'm in. But I think I'm going to need to create a zoom for the quick character information up here, and then my inventory so you can see that a little better. Anyway, just quality of life and viewing things that I'm trying to get into. Hey, Night Settler, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Just doing a little dungeon crawl tutorial, trying to walk people through as far as I can in this game. You ever played this before? Alright, here I go. Wand of Polymorph at my feet. Don't need that a bit. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's one of those games that's like, I've been playing it for about 15 years, off and on, and it's such a good game, but it took me forever to actually make any progress because it's so hard. So hopefully I can kind of talk everyone through my thought process and make it so that you can get a little bit further. I have more deaths to my name than I'd like to admit, but I've tried to learn from those horrible experiences. Alright, so these guys aren't too bad so far, like these snails and things. What is this ghost moth? Why is it draining gaze? It's not dying as fast as I'd like. And then we have a tarantula approaching, which is going to try to confuse me. Okay, luckily it was not able to do that. Now this torpor snail, these guys can hit really, really hard. Way harder than they should be able to. But let's see. Yeah, he missed me. And they're so slow that they don't get that many attacks. Okay, we've got some fire elementals coming into view. I don't know what that's all about. Is there more fire down there to deal with? But anyway, what you do is when you see some stuff, things start getting out of control in a big open space like this, you have to walk back to the staircase. Or in this case, it's the exit of the spider's nest. And I'm going to then walk out of the spider's nest, pulling the two enemies adjacent to me out. They will populate on random squares around you that they can be on. And then I'm just going to clean them out using quick auto attacks, because two of them by themselves are no problem. I have some decent fire resist here, so this isn't that bad. Now I've become confused, okay? And so a lot of bad things happen when you're confused. First of all, I can no longer auto attack. And also, my shield skill, you'll notice it dropped down to 0. I can't block with my shield, which is a huge part of my survivability. And so, it makes me a lot squishier. Oh, I got knocked into this web and held. My strength has been drained by 2. You can see that its max is normally 28, but I'm down to 26. So that's quite bad. Let's see if I can get information on who did that draining. It must have been that ghost. It said he had a draining spell. So typically, when your stats get drained, what you can do is just get enough experience or pass enough time, either or. Usually it's experience, and it will wear off, but sometimes you have to use magical means to recover your strength. And I really hope that's not the case, because I don't have magical means. Alright, I picked up a scroll of enchant armor, which is fantastic, because early on in this stream, maybe like episode 3, and by the way, for you people who have come in, if you're curious to watch the entire narrative of this playthrough, I've posted all the videos to my YouTube channel of this run so far, and so you can see me start from the very beginning and understand how I got to where I'm at. But this gold dragon scale armor is such a pimp item. It's one of the best pieces of armor you can get in the game. And so I'm going to be using my enchant armor scroll to keep boosting it up at this point. Because I know that I'm not going to be replacing it. Sometimes I like to sandbag enchant armor and enchant weapon scrolls to wait for a really, really good item that I know that I'm not going to be replacing. But in this case, I would have to get some kind of artifact armor or crystal plate mail or something to replace that, and even then, I might not. Now, I'm running away like a coward because this orb spider is terrifying me. Additionally, I don't want this guy to confuse me, this tarantula, and then me to get left with the orb spider shooting orbs at me and not able to get out of the way. Okay, you see here, let me zoom in on the text for you. The purple means that one of your enemies is casting a spell or using an ability of some kind. Here, the orb spider begins to weave its threads into a brightly glowing ball. If you're in a situation with an orb spider, this is when you basically soil yourself and try to get out of his line of sight or get away because he's about to use his orb of destruction, which I've seen this thing hit for upwards of 50 damage before, and that's just not the kind of damage you want to be taking. So I'm going to run. I'm continuing to run. Okay, he's made his orb of destruction. Let me zoom in so you can see it. It's right here. So I can right-click on it. It says it's a conjured globe of pure magic that homes in on my target. So it's going to kind of like seek to follow me, albeit with massive inertia. So if you move out of its way quickly, like you blink out of its way, it should have enough inertia to not come back and get you. A smart and agile person may move out of its path, causing it to miss its target. So if you're agile, which unfortunately I'm not, I have a high dexterity, reasonably, it's a 15, but I'm wearing very heavy armor and high encumbrance rating gear, so I'm not the quickest. It cannot be avoided by dodging skill, which that doesn't mean anything to me. My evasion's only 7, and it's able to make sharp turns to hit its targets. So basically, bad. It's very bad, okay? Did you see? I'm moving 1 square at a time, and the orb there just moved 3 squares to my 1. So it is picking up its speed and its inertia as it just described, and putting me in a situation where it's going to want to hit me. Luckily, for me, it hit the tarantula instead. So it blew up the tarantula that was trying to attack me, and so he took 1 for the team. Now, he's doing it again. If you see here, let me zoom out and zoom in on the text. It says he's spinning a ball of pure energy again. So what that means is I need to get up to him before he does that. And I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to get hit by this. I'm going to step up. Step up. Woof, I got out of the way like a bowling ball. Okay, I moved out. So now I can close in on him. To be honest, orb spiders really aren't that bad if I'm up on them as a melee character, but if they can just sit there willy-nilly and indiscriminately fire those orbs at you, you're ruined. They're what make the snake or this spider's nest difficult. That and poison. But as you can see, because of my gold dragon scales, I have resist fire, cold, and poison, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Alright, so I'm just going to stand here. I've been taking a pretty serious beating, and so I'm going to walk out, and I'm going to just rest by pushing the 5 key until I've recovered from the poison, and you can see that my strength is climbing back to normal level. I've got 27 now out of 28, so it is an experience thing. So I just have to kill enough stuff to get my experience back. Here's another fire elemental. Take him out, he's not too hard. And then, oh, that's why there's fire elementals, because of Azrael down here. So, Azrael is a, named Ifrit guy who has all kinds of fire abilities, and those fire elementals swarm around him. So luckily, I've been able to pick off most of his horde. What I'm going to do is prepare myself for more fire damage by increasing my fire resist. I'm going to take off this ring of See Invisible. Remember, whenever you switch your gear in this game, it is passing a turn. So this Hellhound and Azrael are getting to do some stuff, but getting more fire resist is worth losing a few turns. And then I'm going to put on my other ring of fire resist. And so what that does is it gives me now 2 out of 3 resist fire, which will make this a lot easier. I'm going to push A to bring up my God abilities and use Trog's Hand, which is my 2nd level ability, and it will allow me to regenerate and get some magic resistance so I can kind of heal up. If you notice over here in the right corner, a bunch of redback spiders also jumped into the fray, as well as a demonic crawler, which can be annoying, and then another fire elemental. So if it was just Azrael, I'd be okay to stay here, but because so many people are piling on, I need to walk myself back to the entrance. The spiders are very, very fast, so they will get up on me much quicker than Azrael, who's going to kind of waste his time casting spells and things. So I'm going to get back to the staircase. I'm on it now. None of these enemies can push me back, and I'm not in danger of dying, so I'm going to push S to wait 1 turn. Now I have 3 enemies, this demonic crawler and these 2 spiders on me. And so what I'm going to do is I'll zoom in so you can see the positioning here, and I'm going to go back up the steps by pushing shift and left caret, and I will bring the 3 adjacent enemies with me, and I can just blast these guys. They're not very bad. And then I'll wait and heal myself, and then because I know that the staircase below is littered with a bunch of enemies, I'm going to push A to bring up my God abilities, use Trog's Hand again, just as a kind of preemptive defensive measure, and then I'm going to take 1 step down, and you see that around the staircase there is a fire elemental. Okay, let me zoom in again so you can see this. A fire elemental, a wolf spider, a redback, and another fire elemental. Azrael is not there, which is actually pretty good for us, because I'm going to step back up and then pull the 4 adjacent enemies with me and just start fighting them from here. Alright, I'm going to just use tab to auto attack and blow these guys away. In the process, I've gained level 18, okay, which is outrageously awesome, gives me some more hit points, and every 3 levels in this game, you get a stat point, okay? So let me zoom in on the text so you can see this. It's in green. I've reached level 18, and it says your experience leads to an increase in your attributes, and I get to raise 1. Now, typically, I want to raise strength because I'm a strength-based character, but my strength is really, really high, and I need to, unfortunately, spend some time raising my intelligence because none of the items that I've gotten have really done that, and you want to have all of your stats at least above 10, even your lowest stat, a stat that you'll never use, just because there are enemies in this game that can drain your stats, and if your stats get too low, like you can instantly die or be put into a really perilous situation. So I need to raise my intelligence to protect me against intelligence draining things. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to push Shift I to raise my intelligence, and it says I feel clever, and now I have an 8 intelligence. I am really poisoned. Okay. Now, if poison ever is bothering you, remember you can just use one of these potions of curing. All right. Which are the most common potion generally in the game. They heal you a little bit and they cure poison, but I'm not going to waste one right now. I'm just going to kill him. I hate to use those things unless my poison is in the red or it's very early in the game and I'm going to die, or if I'm ever like just going to die. So I will now wait until the poison wears off. Okay, I'm very hungry, so I'm actually going to eat a ration. I'll push E to eat, and then it pulls up my rations. I'll push C to eat one. The reason I did that is because if I need to go berserk, I don't want to get so hungry that I can't. You can actually, if you're starving, you'll be too hungry to use your ability. And that goes for pretty much all of Trog's abilities. All of Trog's abilities you can see here cost hunger. So you don't want to be hungry when you're going to have to fight somebody like Azrael. Now he looks like he went away. He wandered off. So I got to go find him. We got some hellhounds that we need to kill, but we can just kill these guys pretty easily. Here's Azrael. Alright, buddy. I'm just pushing S to let him come to me. And I'm going to push A Well, no, I'll wait. I'll push S one more time. Okay, he's going to cast spells at range, so I have to get up to him. I'm pushing A, and then I'm pushing A again to use my signature ability, which is berserking. And I'm berserk, and I'm going to just smash this guy. All right? Whoa. He cast, let me show you in the text. He cast a Sphere of Damnation at me, which is a high-level powerful spell, and it exploded on me. And did some damage, but not too much to where I have to care. I'm beating the crap out of Azrael, and he's dead. And because he is a high-level guy, he gave me a lot of experience. You can see now that my strength is fully back to normal. I've reacquired it. What did Azrael have for me? He had a potion of flight and a scimitar of flaming. So he always has a flaming weapon, which is cool. Unfortunately, it's a scimitar. I don't use swords. I have no need for that. Ring of Intelligence, okay? I'm going to drop this. I don't want to carry that around because I'll never use it. Alright. Here is a ghost, okay? Now remember that ghosts are either characters that you had previously that have died, or the game will generate them if you don't have enough. I don't have very much, but I did have this guy. I forgot about this guy. Stoned. He's a gargoyle, so he's, get it? Stoned. Anyway, he was pretty good. I don't want to really... I usually avoid fighting ghosts at all costs because they're extremely overpowered, in my opinion, in this game. Now, let's just see if there's anything worth acquiring in this chamber. This runed translucent gate right here that you can see. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it. This gate, I get to open that if I want to. The enemies can never open this from the inside, so it's my choice if I want to open this and fight all of these people to get the treasure stash that's in here. These translucent walls allow you to see through, but they can't be destroyed or shot through, so these guys will forever be stuck in here unless I open this door. But if I open the door, they're going to come out, and they're going to come out swinging. And all that's in here is a set of artifact chainmail, which is good if I were wearing lighter armor, but my armor is way more powerful in this, so a potion of intelligence or brilliance and a scroll of frog and a strawberry are not interesting enough to me to risk fighting a ghost. Remember, this game, if you want to make progress, is all about risk management and choosing the times when you need to take a risk. And at this point, I'm doing so well and the reward there is so low that the risk isn't worth it. So I'm just going to skip that. There's nothing saying that you have to kill all the enemies or anything like that. I certainly don't. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to test out Spider's Nest 2. Now remember, every time you go down a level in a place in this game, everything gets harder, especially in these sub-branches of the dungeon, like the Spider's Nest. There's a rune in here that I'm trying to get, and everything gets harder when you get closer to the rune. So you need to be very mindful of that when you go down. I'm going to go down, and we're going to see some enemies that are the same, like this wolf spider and this jumping spider. But then there's this guy, an entropy weaver, okay? And, well, let's see, what does he do? He has mastered the following spells. Entropic wave, what does that do? It corrodes the target, okay, with no direct line of fire required. Alright, so I'm immediately going to go up. Why am I going to go up? Because he has a corrosion thing. And I need to, if you look at me, I have no resist corrosion right now, okay? Corrosion is a bummer because it lowers the effectiveness of all of your gear, thereby decreasing your armor class, your shield skill, the amount of damage that you do. It's terrible. So I no longer need resist fire +2 at this point because I killed Azrael. So I'm going to take off my ring of fire and put on my ring of resist corrosion. You really want to keep a battery of utility gear for situations like this, and this is a great place because I could just go back up the stairs and make my adjustments without getting hit by enemies. Now I'm going to go back down, talk to these dudes, give them some what for. Okay, here's a wolf spider on me. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if I can get one of these jumping spiders too. Okay, I'm going up. Oh, this tarantula like went berserk, so I'm going to take him out first. Oh, that's another thing that being confused is really terrible about. So he confused me, which sucks. But I'm so confused that I can't go berserk, which is like basically my oh shit button, my get out of jail free card. And so if I can't use my most powerful ability, I'm hampered significantly. So that's good to remember, that if I see a tarantula going berserk, I'm going to go berserk first if I can. Alright, here we go. Oh god, we got a lot of guys. Alright, I'm gonna go berserk right away and kill the entropic weaver immediately, kill these guys, and kill the death moth last. Or the moth of wrath, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm gonna eat the weaver. I'm gonna wait. And this is what you do. You stare dance and you heal. Okay, I'm just gonna keep pushing 5 until it lets me eat till I'm full and cure my poison and cure all of my debuffs. Now I'm strong, ready to go. As a safety measure, I'm going to just turn on Trog's hand and regenerate before I go in, because yeah, there's still a fair amount of enemies here. Now remember, I could fight all of these guys right here on this staircase. It looks pretty safe, but let me, if I zoom in and just kind of give you a clearer view, all of these black areas are fog of war. I don't know what's here. There could be all kinds of enemies, and I could start fighting, and then some dude just jumps out and starts launching projectile attacks or spells at me, and then the situation gets dire. And remember, when you're on a staircase in this game, stair dancing is one of the most powerful tactics in the game. However, it's also one of the most unfair realities of this game, which is that when you go up or down stairs, enemies get a free attack on you. So you could go down a level in this game and be instantly killed before you ever get to do anything if you're significantly injured. Up, too, for that matter. So even though stair dancing affords you more benefit than it hurts you, you don't want to wait to do it until you're so hurt that you're going to die doing it. So I'm going to step up just to show you, okay? So like what, let me step up, and then as I step up, okay, it says, let me zoom in on the text so you can read, I climb upward, and then not all of the enemies came with me, alright, so that was actually pretty good, and they didn't get an attack on me, and maybe that's because they decided to climb. Maybe it takes an action of theirs to climb, but the guys who were down below who wanted to stay there, they could have attacked me. Now, actually, let me show you. You can see it better here. But when I went down the stairs, all right, it says I climbed downward. Look how many attacks happened to me before I got to do something. Here. This many attacks. This is like over 10 attacks that I had to take before I was able to even do anything. So that's the blessing and the curse of staircases. So you just need to be mindful of that if you want to exploit it. Alright? I'm going to go down. Chop these guys up. Wait. Okay. This enemy here, alright, is an Emperor Scorpion. It's one of the tougher enemies in the game. Look at their armor class. It's extremely hard to hit. They evade, and they poison the bejesus out of you. So, I'm going to use my regeneration ability, and I'm going to just, I'm going to throw fire at this guy, too, just to get some extra attacks. And then I'm going to go berserk and try to hurt this guy, take him down. Okay, we got him. Alright, so let's get this scroll, okay, and go back up the steps. Remember, every time you go berserk, you need to wait, because you slow down, you, like, are exhausted, and you're probably hungry, and then you have this debuff on you. It says minus berserk, which means that you can't go berserk again until that is gone. So you want to clear all of those off. I'm starving, so I'm going to eat some bread by clicking on it in the inventory, and now I'm full up and ready to go. Now, I've got 3 identify scrolls at this point, but really nothing I need to identify, so that's good. It's a good place to be in. I know what everything does so far. Alright. Let's go down. And now we can actually kind of explore this part of the dungeon a little bit. I'm pushing O to auto-explore, walking around. I'm going to throw a javelin, throw a poison dart, and just kill one spider at a time is easy peasy, no problem. Okay? Bring this guy back into a safe zone and attack him. Orb spider. Nightmare, alright? Let's step back here so that he can't see me as easily. Wait. Okay, he's not spinning yet. But you see, he's running away from me, and then this guy slowed me down. So that's a terribly bad combination. To be slowed with a orb spider who's about to... you can see, let me zoom in on the text so you can see, he's spinning his glowing ball. So that means he's getting ready to cast it, and now I've been slowed by this snail. So I hate what's happening. So I'm going to just start shooting this orb spider with my wand of disintegration. And luckily I blew him up in one hit before he could cast his orb. So that's a tremendously fortunate situation. And let me take a look at my skills to show you. I've got evocations up to 10. When I go Trog, after I get my maces, armors, and shields, or axes, whatever weapon I'm going, up to a satisfactory level, my next priorities are training fighting and evocations to give myself hit points from fighting, and then to be able to use wands, and items that you can evoke, like for example my lightning rod here, or my lamp of fire, okay? So you want to have some strong tricks up your sleeve, especially ranged tricks, as a melee person and a Trog person. So that's why I like evocations. Evocations just saved my ass right there, because I was able to blow up that orb spider in one shot. Gave him a little bit of his own medicine. I didn't make an orb, but I disintegrated him. Alright, so the wolf spider is dead. Let's see, we've got a redback, which is like one of the easiest guys in this place. Still a pain, because he can poison me, but not too worried. Alright, this guy, Tarantula, can confuse me, which is really crappy. I'm just throwing poison darts at these guys. My throwing skill is 0, by the way, but it's still better than nothing to do something while people are approaching you, and I don't want to waste wand charges on these lower level guys. Now, I'm in a decent spot to fight. Let me zoom in so you can see. Currently, an enemy could go here and here, so I could get attacked by 2 at once. It's not as great as being in a full corridor, but the thing about the spider's nest, it's wide open, as you can see, so you're not really going to get any corridors. Now, true, enemies could come over here and flank me, but that doesn't seem very likely in this spot. So I'm going to stand here and just fight a little bit. I've already preemptively used Trog's Hand, and I'm of a big believer in just using Trog's Hand early so I can just start regenerating, even from full health, so that I can minimize how much damage that I'm taking. Okay, now this guy, the Entropic Weaver, has snuck in back here, so what I'm going to do is use my lightning rod and just blast through all of these guys to start doing damage to everybody. Because now we're building up quite a stockpile of dudes. Okay. I've been held, so I'm going to go Berserk then, and kill the Entropic Weaver. Alright, now enemies are starting to sneak in behind me, but what I'm praying in this spot, because I'm quite vulnerable, I was hoping to get more extension on my Berserk right there, because I was killing things, but that didn't happen. Luckily, I'm at full health, and I'm still regenerating, and I have a whole bunch of escape mechanisms if I need them. And this orb spider, which has just entered into the equation here, he is being blocked by all of these guys, so he can't spin his web and blast me. So what I'm going to do is step up into this square now. I'm going to step here, and then take a bunch of attacks as I do that, and then step back here to protect myself as much as possible. So now I can no longer be flanked, and I'm only getting hit by 2 at once, so that's okay. It's the best I can make in terms of positioning of this situation. If things start to go south, I have a teleport scroll. I could also scroll of fear potentially to get them to run away. But what I'm going to do is... This is probably insane, but while I have these 2 weaker enemies on me, I'm going to eat this chunk of flesh so that I'm no longer hungry, because I want to use Brothers in Arms, which is a nice Trog ability to summon somebody, and I've just summoned this, like, ogre, okay? And he's berserk. He's getting his ass kicked, he's getting poisoned, but he's going to take out some people for me while this happens. So he's going to kind of lighten the load for a second, and I'm just going to fight these spiders. And it's going to take a bit, and I'm going to be very, very careful while I do this. But my armor class is strong enough with my shield skill that this isn't that big of a deal. Now, also, what I think you'll notice is that I've lost my slow. I'm only immune from going berserk right now, so now that I'm not slow, I'm in a really, really good spot. Alright, so... Let's get sweaty. Chop these guys up. Now, this is just a classic example of how smart the game's AI is. I've been doing good. I've been cock-blocking this orb spider with, meat shields. But this guy has now moved into a position where he has a clear line of fire on me. And so I have to keep my eye on the text box. I'll open it back up just to make sure. Yeah, he's not casting anything right now, but as soon as I see that purple text, for him, like he wants to start casting, and he has that clear shot on me, I have to be mindful of that and do something. I have to change my plan. I'm going to try to actually go get him, but he's just going to run away, so I'm going to blast him with my wand. And I'm going to use my wand of Ice Blast, see if that kills him. Nope. Still not able to kill him. He's not spinning his web. Oh god, he just did. Okay, he did it like point blank right there, and he hit me, okay? And it hit me, and it hit me for like 25 or some huge chunk. The red is the most recent damage that I've taken, so he blasted me really well right there, and that's what I get for just trying to walk up to him and chase him. Sometimes I can get impatient and just want to go over and fight him, but he just will not let you do that. So I'm going to disintegrate him. He's dead. Also, good to note, let me zoom in on the text so you can see this. It says at the bottom here, my lightning rod, which has 4 charges, has regained 1 charge. All of your evocable items, well, not all of them, but many of them, will regenerate charges as you gain experience. And so, or over time, so it just takes, time getting experience to get them back. The lightning rod is specific in that it has 4 charges, and if you use all 4 in a row, it gets even stronger as it goes. I didn't have to do that in that spot, but now I am up to 3 out of 4 on my lightning rod, so that's really good. Anyway, just things to manage and monitor. It looks like I've gotten myself out of that little pickle. I'm going to eat, and I'm going to just kind of look around. Aha! Shangri-La! We did it. This is a huge, huge moment. 2 things on the screen here are tremendous, and let me draw your attention to them. First of all, I'll do the best first. The large shield. I've been looking for a large shield. I like to have a large shield with every deep melee build that I run. Alright, large shield. Let's right click and look at this, okay? It's extremely cumbersome, but it gives you a base shield rating of 13, alright? Which determines how frequently you can block. remember, when you block something in this game, and you can block ranged attacks, you can block melee attacks, you can block most spell attacks, anything that requires a line of sight, I'm pretty sure, and if you block it, you take 0. So it's like evading it. It's unbelievable. A large shield gives you the best chance to do that in the game. However, you need huge investment in shield skill to make this worthwhile. But anyway, you know, we're going to get that. And I've been... the next scrolls of enchant armor that I get will go on to that. You can enchant it up to +8 versus the shield I'm wearing now, which is just a regular medium shield that has a base shield rating of 8, and you can only enchant up to +5. And you'll see that my shield right now is 18. Also, there are 3 unidentified scrolls in this pile. I'm trying to think what they could be. I've identified most scrolls already. It's probably something really crappy that I don't want. Like, it could be scrolls of silence or something like that, which actually isn't that bad, but I want to check it out. So I'm going to check it out. So I'm going to use one of my many scrolls of identify. Normally, I just read scrolls to identify them as long as there's no enemies around and the area is clear and safe. But because I have so many identify scrolls, I'm going to use this, and they're scrolls of summoning. That's actually really good. Those can come in extreme... they can be extremely useful if you need to create a diversion and escape. Now, I'm going to show you. I'm going to equip my large shield. You'll see that my evasion goes down because the encumbrance rating is higher on this. But my shield skill itself went up 3, and this is +0, and this is +3. So I'm going to drop this forever. And what I'm going to do then, because of this new development, I'm going to stop training fighting for the moment and focus on shields. I'm going to double down on shields, okay? So all I did was click the letter next to the skill to turn it off for fighting. If it's grayed out, that means none of your experience is being allocated to that skill. The only skills that I'm allocating experience to right now are maces and flails, evocations, armor, and shields. And then you can see the breakdown. 20% of my experience are going to these 3, and then 40% is going to shields, because what I did was you can keep pushing the skill to turn it off, to turn it to regular train, or to turn it to double time, like max focus. And so the asterisk means double time, and so now I'm training this more than anything else because I really want my shields to get up. Alright, Scroll of Fear, big old war axe, don't need it. Here's a big snail. Okay, now let me show you something. Even though my shield skill is 14, let's look at the text. It says in gray at the bottom there, my shield prevents me from hitting the torpor snail. This is going to happen. You are going to have your shield mess you up from doing what you want, which is attacking occasionally, okay? Because it's so hard to use a large shield. But once your skill is above 10 in shields, I think it's worth it, all right? I mean, your mileage may vary. You need a good strength and you need good shield skill, but the trade-off of blocking more often versus the occasional you can't attack, in my mind, is worth it. So I'll accept that. And let's look at this. Let me just zoom in on the bottom. Trog has granted me a weapon, so let's see if he's actually wanted to give me something good here. It's not good. It's a GD sling, okay? I'll identify it just because... No, I'll just equip it. It's a +2 hunting sling of freezing, all right? And that's not actually bad, but I'm never going to use a sling. And let me explain why. It's because I have to de-equip my melee weapon and potentially my shield, depending on what type of ranged weapon it is, to do that. And I don't want to waste any turns de-equipping my best stuff just so I can fire something at range. I'll throw darts or javelins or something, because those don't require any work like that. But as far as ranged weapons go, not interesting. Maybe early on in a run with this build, but not here. All right, so now we've made it all the way to Spider's Nest 3, which is, we're getting into some serious stuff. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to just kind of look around, poke my head around, see what I can come up with. There, right off the bat, is a scroll. 3! Holy crap! In one pile, there's 3 scrolls of enchant armor. That is ridiculous. That is a very rare scroll to get, and sometimes you don't see them that frequently. I just got my large shield. Every single one of those is going on my large shield for the reason that I explained before, which is that you want to pump up large shields as much as you can, or any shield, because they directly raise the shield level, which is your chance to block with that item. Remember, it's not the amount that you block, because the amount that you block is 100%. At least, it used to be. They might have changed it, but so far, in this run, it is 100%. Alright, very hungry, I'm just going to eat. And now I'm going to step up here, I'm going to use every single one of these on my shield. Now watch what happens. When I use my enchant armor scroll, my shield skill is 21. I use it, it goes up to 22. I use it, 23. Use it, 24. All right, that is 24, and I believe that means 24% of the time I will block an incoming attack if it's available to be blocked. All right, that is ridiculous. That's like adding 25% hit points, and it can even be more than that if depending on the level of the attack. All right, now let's look at what's happened here. Let me zoom in. There's 3 spiders that are up on me on the staircase, which is fine, but this Emperor Scorpion has snuck in the back like I don't see him. I am going back up the steps. I'm going to kill all these easier spiders. This jumping spider wants to run away. And now it's just me and the Emperor Scorpion. Hopefully, I'm going to use my Trog's hand preemptively, go down the steps, and check it out. This is, you're not going to get better evidence ever than this, that shields are important. Let me zoom in on the text. I came down the steps. The jumping spider leapt into range. The Emperor Scorpion, which is a boss enemy, attacked me, and he attacked me twice, and I blocked both of those attacks with my shield. Full block. Then he missed me. All right, so my armor class, I think, affected that, or he just rolled badly and somehow my crappy evasion did that. Either way, I mean, that's all of his damage just blocked in one go right there. I'm going to go berserk. Screw this. Emperor Scorpion is so hard. I'm slow. I'm just going to go up the steps and wait until I'm no longer slow and berserk and come back down and kill this guy. Jumping spiders can be really annoying because they jump, and I don't really have the best range. The jumping spider pounces on me. Jesus. He hit me pretty hard there with his pounce. Anyway, he's dead. Alright, what do I see? A tarantula and a redback? Alright, so let's just go back to the staircase that I know and love, which is here. The spiders will catch up with me because they're faster than me. That's okay. Let's keep exploring. Let's push S to wait and let these guys come to me. Clear them out. Oops, sorry. Let me turn off the text zoom. You don't need to see that anymore. You can see a little bit more of the screen there. All right, now this is a big... he corroded me, even with my resist corrosion. What an unbelievable situation. All right, this is bad. This is an orb spider and a entropic weaver, or an entropy weaver. So there's 4 redbacks, and I used my god ability here to summon some help just to get through this without berserking. The reason I don't want to berserk right now is because there's so much unexplored terrain here that I don't want to get caught, you know, with my stuff in the wind because I've become exhausted and slowed, and then some really powerful enemies come around the corner at me. So I just wanted to try and used Brothers in Arms to see what I got, and I rolled up a 2-headed ogre who's gone berserk. So this guy is going to rip through these things like they're almost nothing. So I'm going to step back here and just let my ogre get surrounded and do some work for me. So he's doing his thing. He killed the orb spider. Meanwhile, I'm just attacking these guys and mincing them up. So we did a good thing, me and my buddy. Cool, orb spider I can eat. I need to get out of here. Or at least wait until my corrosion is gone. It's gone. I'm full. The ogre, poof, disappears. That's okay, because he did his job. He killed an orb spider all in one. Now, here's a group of reasonably easy enemies. I'm just going to blast them. I can't get too many of them with that ice blast. I'm going to wait. I could shoot some acid. Now, the range on that sucks. All right, I'm just going to let them come to me. And luckily, I actually have, let me zoom in here so you can see, I have a corridor. It's so rare in the spider's nest to get a corridor to fight in, but I've got one. So I'm going to back into this and just fight these guys one at a time. And they are really easy one at a time. Let's do that. All right, let's remember where that corridor is. By the way, I'm going to show you, you don't want to walk in these webs because they're not just graphical decorations. They actually can hurt you. Like this one has held me, all right? So I need to spend some time getting out of there, and I'm going to back into my spot. Now, my spot is awesome because Orb Spider wants to weave up his death ball and hit me, but he can't because I got these meat shields. His fellow spider buddies are blocking the way. Now it's just me and him. So I'm going to try to step in. Yeah, he's spinning up his orb, so I don't think there's anything I can do. Yeah, amen. All right, let me show you that. There was nothing I could do, but I was at least able to close the gap and get up on him while he was doing that. And check it out. Look at the text. I told you, large shield. I blocked his orb. That's full block. That thing can do like 50 damage, and I just blocked all of it. So sorry, bye-bye. So sorry. He's doing it again, and I was able to just kill him before he got it off. So once you get a large shield, this place becomes considerably easier for me. It's still not a walk in the park. I still have to be very, very careful of Emperor Scorpions, some random name monster that just shows his horrible face at me. But I'm doing pretty well so far here, knock on wood. Oh, see, yeah, or some jerk like this, an electric eel who wants to just somehow have a pool of water to live in. I'm going to have to go up on him slowly. And I do want to kill him because there's a scroll at least up here, so okay, he's dead. God. I hate me some electric eels all day long. Let's eat him to show him how much we hate him. Chop him up, butcher him up. By the way, if you forgot, butcher is the C key. You just stand over an enemy that you can butcher. Unfortunately, this enemy I can't butcher because it says the meat is toxic. They've really gone above and beyond. When I first started playing this game like 15 years ago, there were no tooltips, or they were very minimal. You couldn't like right click on something and get all kinds of valuable information. You just had to know, like by the graphic, this evil face on the meat that you can't eat it because it's going to make you sick and throw up. Alright, Emperor Scorpion, great, good to see you. What do I want to do to you to punish you? I'm just going to throw some stuff at you for now. I'll give you this too. And I'll use my regeneration. And now another spider wants to come in and fight, so I'm going to walk diagonally over here. Remember, when you walk diagonally in this game, it takes as much time as walking up, down, left, or right, so you can cover more ground. And I'm going to get in this little hidey hole just to minimize the amount of spiders that I fight. Now it's too many, so I'm going to go berserk and just kill this Emperor Scorpion first, because he's the asshole that needs to die. And then I'll just go ahead and kill the Tarantula and then the Redbacks last, because they suck. And I'm going to wait. Remember, when you push 5 to rest, you automatically eat rations, or I'm sorry, pieces of meat that are perishable. I did that. Now I'm no longer slow. I'm at full health. Let's do it. Alright, so easy spiders. I'm just going to tab to auto attack these guys and rip them apart. Here we go. Here we go. Beep. Beep. We got a glass ring. It's blue. Okay, so let's see if we can get up on this guy without him hitting us. He hit us. He hit us pretty hard, too. Okay, there's 2 orb spiders now, which sucks. So I'm going to summon. I failed to use my ability. Luckily, it looks like he hit somebody else with that ball of energy. God, these guys. Alright, I'm just going to use my disintegration wand on these dudes. Hello. Blast. 1 dead. Alright. I still have so many charges here. Blast. Almost dead. Let's see if I can move out of the way of this thing. I'll move up here and just pray that it somehow hits this jumping spider. It didn't, but I blocked it. So just as good. Got him. Alright, great. Didn't have to use any more charges. That was a little bit risky, but I had so much health that I was willing to just walk up and try to kill that guy. God, I hate these guys. Alright. You can't block electricity, I don't believe. Or at least that guy's electricity I couldn't block. Alright, alright. And we got a regular wolf spider here. Let's rest. Orb spider. He's doing his thing. He's making his ball of crap. So I'm going to try to step over here and see if I can get out of the way. It hit the wall. Fantastic. I've gone berserk. I didn't really mean to do that, but it's alright. Alright, let's kill this guy. Let's use our regeneration. And... deep. Oh, okay, that's actually really good to know. That was a good example. I was actually slow, but I was still able to step out of the way of this orb of destruction. It probably hadn't built up enough speed yet to become unblockable. Or, I'm sorry, undodgeable. But, again, boom. I hate to rub it in, but I blocked that orb of destruction. Large shield for life. If you're curious, and I keep mentioning this because it's like the biggest mystery, I've always been curious in this game about two-handed weapons. And what I mean is, like, why are two-handed weapons in the game for players? For enemies, it makes sense because they don't really care too much about their defense, and the output of damage that it gives them is insane. But for me, not having a shield is never worth it because you can't do things like that, like block a orb of destruction. Okay? So I have a whole thread on the Dungeon Crawl Reddit about this, about why would anybody use a two-handed weapon, and people have, like, tried to make the argument, but most people are willing to, like, to admit that it's a lukewarm argument at best, and it's really not the case that most people use two-handed weapons, because I've gotten some sick, like, artifact two-handed weapons that I couldn't believe, and I was like, oh, surely this will be more impactful than a shield and a one-handed weapon, and no, not the case. Anyway, I'm going to identify this ring. It's a cursed ring of attention. Awful. So if you wear this, it'll just, like, scream or make noise to bring enemies to you. That's why it's got the red box. It's mean it's cursed, and that's why you don't try on rings most of the time to identify them unless you have remove curse scrolls, which I do. I'm going to drop that right here, and I never want that again. Alright, we have Spider's Nest 3 clear. This is going surprisingly well, knock on wood. I'm really happy about this. Ooh, okay. So let's talk about this. You see right here, this graphic, this means that this is a, like, a honeycomb or a hive filled with hornets and wasps, and they can actually be big pains in the ass because they're hard to hit and they poison the crap out of you. And so I'm slow, and they get a bunch of attacks. They're fast, so I'm going to go in just very, very slightly. I'm going to pick up this ring, and I'm going to try to find some enemies to bring up the steps with me. Okay, here we go. Let's kill these guys. They poisoned me, too. Let's wait. Hey, let's bring them up. Oh, they confused me. But that's why you bring them up, because being confused against just two crappy spiders ain't no thing. But being confused with, like, oh, I don't know, this orb spider, not good. All right, let's kill this guy. All right, orb spider, it's you and me. Oh, look at this. He's cast his orb. I'm going upstairs, and I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna go back down, and the orb is gone. And now there's a spider blocking his ability to hit me with an orb, which is tremendous. Oh, Emperor Scorpion, get the hell out of there. I'm gonna wait. The Emperor Scorpion didn't see me, so he's not gonna come up the steps. So he's casting his ball again, so I'm just gonna go back up, have him waste that. I'm gonna try to blast him with my Wand of Disintegration. He's never gonna play nice, so let's hit him with that. Crap! I gotta go up so that I don't get hit by that, and I gotta go back down. He's gonna heal up a little bit, unfortunately, because I can't. But now I got him. I blew him up. I love, by the way, disintegration in this game, the Wands of Disintegration, because you, like, here, look at the text. It says the spider, the orb spider is blasted, triple exclamation point. And you literally blast the enemy because their body parts just fly over. Like, his chunk of meat flew from here over to here. The explosion was so big. It's awesome. It's just a little cool addition that they put in the game. So much flavor, so much goodness in this game. It's just the game is a labor of love. It's been tinkered with and evolved, you know, for so long with a team of developers. It's awesome. There's so much support for it. I can't believe that it's free and that it's still supported. It's great. It's great. Okay, so there's a little translucent block here for me so I can see all of these crappy hornets. So they're going to come out here. Okay, so... Oh, no, they're not. That's not their way out. What, are they trapped in there? Huh. So, if I wanted to go in here, I could use my Wand of Digging and blast through this rock wall, open it up, and kill these guys. Now, you might say, but Dr. Incompetent, look through the glass window. There really isn't much there. Oh, there's a regular dagger. That's not worth it. Well, you can't quite see what's on the squares with these guys, but there very well could be more items underneath them that they're concealing. But more than likely than not, there are honeycombs here. And honeycombs are really nice pieces of food to have. But I have 26 rations. I'm not hurting for food at all. So I don't need it. But if later in the game, if I've like gone through so much stuff and I actually start running low on food, I can come back here and see if there is food for me to get. So I'm going to save it. Here's my man, the Emperor Scorpion. And you bet your ass I'm going to fight him in this hallway right here. So that, you know, it's just him and me, hopefully, and nobody comes out behind me. But anyway, let's see. What do I want to do to this guy? I'm just going to use Trog's hand. And I think it's worth noting at this point that I've been kind of using Trog's abilities very frequently, and my piety just dropped. And what happens when your piety drops? Because if I push A, you'll see that Trog's hand requires just a little bit of piety. Number one, my failure rate with Brothers in Arms increases because Trog doesn't use invocations to determine whether or not you can use his god abilities because he hates magic. He uses piety, and so the higher your piety, the more likely you are to use his abilities. So that's one thing that happens. But also, you'll see I'm now at 4 out of 6. I was at 5 out of 6. And so it has turned offline. You'll see at the bottom, Trog will no longer gift me weapons. It has turned offline his ability to give me weapons. Now, if I kill some more crap, he'll be happy. But it's kind of an indication that I might want to slow my roll just a little bit on... I'm going berserk. This is getting out of hand. Okay, we got it. Jumping spider's going to jump around forever. Okay, we got him. All right, I'm going to just go here and rest. Okay. I'm hungry, but that's okay. If my hunger develops more... Ooh, it's an orb spider. Fantastic. So happy to see you. God, what do I want to do to you? I could drink this potion of haste so I could run up to him and catch him, but I'm just going to blast him with my Wand of Disintegration. Hoping to one-shot him, but didn't. Got him that time, though. Alright, I'm going to eat this. EE. to eat. Again, love it. Look at that. These pieces of that orb spider flew that far away from him. That's so sweet. Okay, blow this guy away. Here's a bee, or a hornet, I should say. All right, lots of enemies back there. So I'm going to go back to the staircase and start stair dancing to just thin the herd in a safe way. This game, if you haven't played it yet, if you haven't started up yet, you really can't get your head around how difficult this is. I might be making this look kind of easy, and first of all, that's because I have really good gear for where I'm at in the game, and I'm very high level, so, you know, this particular spider's nest at this point is okay for me. Second of all, I've been playing this for 15 years, so I know a lot about the game, but I could still die at any moment. But anyway, if you're starting out in this game, it took me a year to beat this with a 3 rune victory, which is the easiest victory. That's how hard this is. And so just boot it up. Just see how difficult it is and how easily it will kill you. And so my advice to you is never overestimate your abilities and never underestimate this game's ability to want to kill you. And so to that end, be like me, be a coward, fight enemies in as small of groups as you possibly can by using stair dancing, by using corridors, positioning, anything you can do to give yourself an advantage so that you don't lose. Because at this point, I have some really, really awesome items I've been playing for a long time, and it would be so crappy because if you're not aware, this is a permadeath game, which means if I die, it's over. This character's dead, erased, and it only lives on as a ghost to kill my next character. Alright? So I don't want that to happen. It's like your entire time is just gobbled away. You do gain the experience, you know, of just getting better at the game, but nothing from your run carries over. And so you want to protect yourself from dying as much as possible because the punishment is as strict as it can be. You can't save it in this game. You can push Control S to save and close the game when you're done playing, but you don't have a save file that you can load or anything like that. When you open up the game, you just start wherever you were. If you were in deep shit, then you're going to still be in that situation. Alright, this guy, I'm not going that way. That electric eel has like a prime firing channel on me, and I'm just not going to let him blast me. I'm going to... Oh, holy goodness. Okay. I was not paying attention, and it almost cost me... it could have been me dying right there. I forgot. Let me zoom in so you can see this. This enemy here, the Moth of Wrath, by himself, he's a joke. But what he can do is make his buddies go berserk. So enemies that normally couldn't go berserk, he can send into a berserk rage. And as you know, if you've been watching me play, berserk rage is pimp. It's the best ability that I've got. And now they're using it against me, okay? That is terrifying. I am running away, all right? I am running away. Berserk speeds them up, so they're getting a bunch of free hits on me. But I am running away until their berserk wears off, okay? It's not worn off yet, but I've been able to stair dance and just get myself one enemy to fight. So I'm gonna go berserk myself. Now, this is look at how priceless this situation is. The Emperor Scorpion has calmed down. It says in the text you can see he's no longer berserk. And the little hourglass icon up by his, in his upper right corner means that he's slow. He's suffering the effects that we have come to know and love from losing Berserk, and I've just gone Berserk. So the tables have turned. He's effed. He's gone. Alright, I'm going to rest, and go back down. And I'll kill these guys easily. And I will eat me this moth. Okay? Again, they added this several versions ago, but if you're hungry and you have perishable meat, before you rest, or auto-explore by pushing O, you will eat to satiate yourself before your meat spoils and goes bad. Because this little, like, chunk of flesh, it says it won't stay fresh for long, which means it'll, after a certain amount of time, it'll just become rancid and I can't eat it anymore. However, rations will never go bad. All right, so you want to save those for last. You want to prioritize eating your temporary food stores. All right, hey, a potion to cure wounds, or heal wounds, I'm sorry. Awesome. That's a terrific thing to see. I'm just going to throw some darts at this guy just to be silly. And then blast him. Dart. Ooh, I poisoned him. That's right, buddy. A little of your own medicine. I think spiders can just come out of these webs and, like, you can't even see them, and they just, like, crawl out of the web. And a little element of surprise going on. Alright, what is this? It's a spark wasp. Remember, this game is brutal. And one of the main ways you will die is by not having enough information at your disposal. Not knowing what's going on, what's an enemy doing. So in this case, I don't remember what a spark wasp even does, or it might be just brand new to the game and I haven't seen it. I haven't played the game in several months, so they've updated it. This could be new, probably not. Anyway, this tells you everything about it that you could want to know. It looks dangerous. This is pro-rated and it's relative to your level. So for me, it's saying it's dangerous, so that's pretty scary. Here's all the things. It's immune to electricity, which you would expect from an electric wasp. I can poison it. It's fast. It can fly. It's tiny, which means it's harder to hit. It can sting for 33 damage, which is a shitload, and deal 18 electric damage also. And it has this blink bolt ability, and remember, if you don't know what the ability is, you can just push the key corresponding. It transforms the caster into a lightning bolt and translocates the caster to the bolt's destination. So great. So he can turn himself into a lightning bolt and go through me and do electric damage, I'm guessing. So that's awful. So I'm just going to step in and fight this guy. I'm going to start swinging. I'm not familiar with how hard he is, so I'm going to swing a little bit. He's actually hit me pretty hard right there. If he hits me again, I'm going to go berserk. Okay, I'm going to go berserk and just kill this guy because I'm not messing around at all. Alright, I got level 19. Fantastic. I can't eat this guy. I'm going to back up to an area where I'm comfortable with. Again, a spider just popped out of that web, but he was an easy one, so that's fine. I'm going to rest, heal my hit points, eliminate my debuffs, and step over here. I'm not obviously going to step on this dispersal trap. If you step on it, it will teleport you to a a new location. You can use that if you need to run away, and it's like a last resort kind of thing, but you don't know where you're going to go. So you could go jump out of the frying pan and into the fire, as they say. I'm going to use my Trog's hand to regenerate, and this guy corroded me, even though I have resist corrosion anyway. But remember, just because I have resist corrosion right here of 1 out of 1, that does not give me 100% protection. It just mitigates. It mitigates pretty well, but you could still get screwed. So don't think you're invincible just because you have a resistance maxed out. All right? That was me just tabbing and auto-attacking an orb spider down. That was rather reckless, but I'm feeling saucy. Scroll of vulnerability, I don't want that. Emperor Scorpion. Alright, so let's be very careful with how this develops. He's poisoned me. He's doing his thing. He's poisoned me again. I'm going to use Trog's hand to heal up. Got him. Alright. Remember, Emperor Scorpions are probably... Them and Orb Spiders are the most difficult guys in here that are not named enemies. Alright, Emperor Scorpion. He's hitting me hard. I'm going berserk just to make sure I win. And I still, got the crap beat out of me by that guy. And I'm really, really poisoned, alright? So I'm going to eat, and I'm going to wait. Just going to keep pushing 5 until that poison wears off. Now, if that poison didn't wear off, if it just built up to the point where I was getting close to death, I would have used one of my 5 potions of curing, which cure the poison ailment. But I didn't need to, so I save them unless it's a last resort. There used to be enemies and effects in this game that could damage your consumables, like your potions and your scrolls. Like if you caught fire, some of your scrolls could burn, or enemies that did cold damage could freeze your potions and they would shatter. that is no longer a case, so you don't have to worry about that. So you can sandbag potions as long as you like. Alright, I'm hoping that this is the last floor of the spider's nest, and I'm going to get the rune here. So I can show you guys what it's like to get a rune. It'll be our first rune of the run. And it'll let us go into the vaults, which I kind of want to explore. Orb spider. He didn't see us, so we got to make our presence known. And I will, but I'm going to step back here. Remember, the illuminated squares illustrate your line of sight. And so this darkened square means that I can't see what's over here, but anybody standing here also can't see me. So the orb spider has no way of casting his orb to get me until he steps onto like one of these squares. And by that point, he'll be close enough to where I can go up and just hit him. So I'm going to wait. This guy came into view. And then look, the orb spider came around the corner right there for me. And made himself easy. So great. Another orb spider. Man, they're just milking out the orb spiders today, huh? Alright, so I'm going to let him see me so that he's aware, and then I'm going to step up here to protect myself until he gets there, and then I'm going to step down and step down. He did hit me with his orb of destruction. Remember, they can hit you for more damage than you want, but he rolled badly. Let me show you in the zoom. It says the wavering orb of destruction weakly hits you, which means, you know, it was a bad one. And so it hit me. It hit me for 8. Sorry, buddy. You had your chance, and you blew it. Okay, so here's an Emperor Scorpion and an Orb Spider. I don't want to fight both of those at the same time, so I'm going to step back to this staircase and stair dance this Emperor Scorpion up. Remember, any enemy that's adjacent to you on a staircase tile that's not a summoned enemy or like an undead enemy of certain kinds will follow you up the steps if they can. So I'm going to do that and just fight him one-on-one. I'm going to try not to go berserk or use anything, and I didn't have to. You know, if you roll well and they roll badly, there's a very good chance that I won't have to waste any abilities. And that's what happened there. Oh, that's a big orb. Boom. Again, shield endorsement for the win. You block the Orb of Destruction. His best attack has just been blocked. All right, let's just get him. And he's dead. Great. Anytime I can kill an orb spider with minimal threat. Let's get this guy out before he makes his buddies go berserk. Here's another orb spider, and it's kind of a long, windy hallway. This is where orb spiders really shine. I don't have a chance to really effectively get out of the way of this. I'll try, but I blocked it, so it didn't turn out to be necessary. I'm going to try to get this guy, but here's what I don't want to do. And this is a trap that you can fall into and you want to avoid at all costs. These dickhead orb spiders will run away. Now, if you're a ranged person, a caster, then you don't care. You're happy they're running away. But me, I want to fight them melee. Don't get tempted and lured back by him. All of this area here is unexplored. I don't know what the hell's back here. It could be just full of Emperor Scorpions and other orb spiders who are going to just set me on fire with their damage. And I don't want any of that. So I'm not going to follow this guy too far. If he wants to run away, okay, fine. I'm going to let him. I'm going to go back here. And if he wants to, like, you know, follow me, then I'll lure him back out a little bit. And then once he makes the mistake of getting too close, I'll come up to him. Now he's weaving his orb of energy to try to hit me. That's what the purple text means. He's using his ability. He's using his ability. He's following me really good. So I'm just going to let him follow me, and then I'm going to come up. He's casting his orb. I'm going to try to sidestep it. I couldn't, but again, large shield for the win. I blocked it, but he's quickly starting to weave another one, which is annoying. But I blocked it again. I'm so sorry. This just isn't your day. All right. Block, block, block. Thank you. Goodbye. All right. A redback is nearby. He's right here. He doesn't even know I'm here. He's completely oblivious. Let's tell him we're here by throwing a dart at him. That's right, buddy. I've got darts. Were you expecting that? Hey, I hit you. That's embarrassing. Poisoned a spider with a dart. Ah, the irony. So worth it. Remember, oh, something stings me. Okay, something invisible is hitting me, so I need to take a second. I gotta take off my ring of resist corrosion, put on my ring of see invisible, and it's a ghost moth, okay? I thumped him. Thumped him good, he's dead. Ooh. Let me indicate. I wish right-clicking on the corpse would tell you what their abilities are. Anyway, he drained my intelligence down to 7. Remember, that's why at level 18, when I could choose one of my stats to raise, I chose intelligence, even though intelligence does jack shit for me otherwise. I had to raise it up so that some, dickhead like that can't just drain my intelligence and kill me. I don't know if this is still in the game. This used to be. They may have taken this out, but it used to be if your intelligence or any stat went to 0, you instantly died. Like, if your intelligence went to 0, it used to be they would tell you you forgot to breathe, and your character, no matter what health they were at, no matter what they were at, they would die. They may have, softened that a little bit, but either way, I don't want to go down that road. So I'm glad I raised my intelligence. Now, I've been drained temporarily. If I gain enough experience, it'll go back to 8, but I don't want any more of that happening. So I'm going to keep this ring of see invisible on because I don't want any more surprises. Oh, I have a ring that I haven't identified. Let's see what it is. Oh, I have an amulet too. A cursed -6 ring of evasion. Aw, what a disaster. That would take my evasion strictly to 0. Alright, I'm going to use my other scroll of identify to look at this amulet. Ooh! Wow, this is an awesome amulet. Shit. I don't know. This is a really tough decision. Right now, I'm using this amulet of regeneration. Let me ask you guys. Anybody out there have a suggestion for me? Should I use the amulet +4 amulet of reflection or keep my amulet of regeneration? It's a tough call. Let me read this. Oh, it affects your shielding. Okay, never mind. It's not a tough call anymore. I'm gonna. Your mileage may vary on this, but an amulet which exerts force that blocks some incoming attacks and can even reflect a blocked range attack back towards the attacker, and it affects my shielding +4. So let's see how much it affects my shielding. Is it just a strict +4? I'm going to take off my regeneration, and my shield skill is 25 right now. Yeah, it's a strict +4. Okay, I'm going to wear this because my shield skill is so important to me. And reflecting stuff is just awesome and funny. If I can reflect an orb back to one of these orb spiders, I think that's kind of like a lifetime achievement award. So let's go for it. Yes! Alright, everybody. We finally did it. Our first rune. This is, my first newbie guide of version 0.24. And I'm playing a human, which sucks. But I'm a Berserker of Trog, which is good. Which is one of the easier ways to play the game. And one of my favorite ways to play the game. And we've got our first rune here. It's this, right here. The Gossamer Rune of Zot. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We don't have it yet. I could easily die. But we've been slowly clearing out the enemies. This whole little cubby hole was just packed with enemies. And they've been coming out. And we've been killing them. There's probably some people still left. And then there's this unconscionable jerk, the electric eel, which I'm going to send some acid at. No, I can't. He's too far away. I'm just going to walk over. He doesn't have that much room to maneuver in. So I'm going to fight him. And I killed him in one shot. There is a Emperor Scorpion here. Let me zoom in to show you. And then there is a Ghost Moth here, which wants to drain my stats so very badly. And I don't want any of that. So I'm going to step back and step back. And I'm going to go berserk right away because I want to kill this Ghost Moth before he gets any funny ideas. And then I'm going to try to kill the Emperor Scorpion. I got him, but another Emperor Scorpion just came out of nowhere. He was like maybe hiding in that web. And so I'm going to walk away. I'm going to try to run away. I'm going to use my Trog's hand to start healing. And I'm going to walk and see. Yeah, I'm just going to keep walking. I'm going to get hit by this guy as I do that. But that's okay. It's better than trying to fight him while I'm slow, in my opinion. I'm just going to kind of keep walking to mitigate the amount of attacks that I take to let his slow go away. Or I'm sorry, my slow go away. And it just did. And now I can fight this guy. And if things go south, I'm going to go berserk. I am so hungry that I might not be able to. Let's see if I can. Nope, too hungry. So near starving is the threshold for going berserk. So I'm just going to eat some food right in this guy's face. I'm going to eat a little bread. This guy's like, dude, we are in combat. What the F are you doing just eating food? Don't you respect me at all? I don't. No, it's not true. I do. But anyway, that's why I'm going berserk. That's the indication that I respect you, Emperor Scorpion. I went berserk. Okay, I'm going to rest. And I'm going to keep auto-exploring to get down here. And it looks like we did it. We did it. There was really no good treasure in this place, unfortunately, except the rune. But boom, 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 boom. You see how the whole screen flashed with power? That's because we did it. We got the rune. All right, so we got our first rune. That is a tremendous accomplishment, everybody, and that's a great stopping point. I'm going to go ahead and tuck in for the evening, so thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by and checking out the stream. If you're interested, I'm streaming Dungeon Crawl on Twitch Sunday through Thursday, starting around 11 until about 1. Before that, I'm doing some Might and Magic 3. And then I put all of the VODs up onto YouTube after some editing. So if you want to see the entire playthrough, go ahead and check me out on YouTube. Please follow me on Twitch if you haven't already. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will check you guys tomorrow evening. Thanks again. Peace.